Welcome back to Horse Racing Today on Hump Day with my good friend Terry Hay. Of course, we're off to the land of I don't know, what is it, Finger Lakes, but that's not really up over there. But beautiful part of the country, Saratoga Springs, New York. For yet, I think it's the last week of racing, right? The Saratoga closes on Monday. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
How sad, right?
Yeah, it's been a good meet for me.
Hey, Taysom, listen to me. I'm warning you. Don't come to the United States. But do come to our show to watch horse racing today. Of course, you also want to go to Belterra Park. Free tracks today, free picks today down in Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You can see the link down there below. Make sure you head on over there. When the show's over, we will post all of our picks over on horseracingtoday.net. Another link down below. And while you're over there, the best link of all is the HRT gear. That's where you can get yourself a Horse Racing Today hat. You can get a bag. You can get a T-shirt. Hey, you know what's coming pretty soon, Terry, right? Is the fall, right?
What's the rain?
The fall.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Fall, like as in autumn.
Yeah, fall.
Yes, indeed. So you can get yourself a Horse Racing Today long sleeve T-shirt or a hoodie.
Yeah.
I like my HRT hoodie. It keeps me nice and warm. It's very comfortable too. All right, Terry, I'm not so comfortable with the jumpers. Well, what's the first race about? We're going to run through this real quick before it gets started.
Okay, let me get here to where I'm supposed to be. And it's actually it's the jumpers, as you said, 2 3/8 miles on the turf. And it's the Walsh Novus Stakes race. First 100,000 to be run over national fences for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won over hurdles prior to March 1st, 2023, or which have never won 3 races other than 3-year-old.
Yeah, and I don't really care about any of that. I'm not really a jumper handicapper. So no simulations for us or any of that stuff. We're just going to go right off to our picks for race number 1, Terry. And what do you got and why do you got it?
Okay, I like in this race the 7-horse Hold Hard. He won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick now. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Evie's Prince, the 8, is my second choice. Won his last race by 16 lengths, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 1 Hidden Path, he won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Westerland, the 2 is my long shot. He finished the money in his 5 starts, winning 2 of the last races, and his best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. There you go.
So they're off and running now. I went with the 1, the 8, the 3, and the 2. And right now the 7-horse, which is the favorite at 8-5, is winning. Looks like he went to the front. I don't know. He's kind of backed off a little bit. So really not a big gap from the first horse to the last horse. Looks like there's maybe 6 horse lengths from the front to the back. Really a tight bunch in there. Looks like of all the horses right now, the one that's running the easiest, the 1 horse, the jockey's really trying to hold that horse. That horse wants to go. I mean, the jockey's basically just sauntering, although they're all kind of now taking a bit easy. The 3 horse is another one too, where the jockey's just kind of hanging in there. Don't know what that really means with the jumpers, but those 2 are standing the most upright and really looking like they're letting the horses run as they come through the jumps. Really not much of a gap between any of them, to be honest with you. I don't know if you get penalized for running out of the cones there. If so, the 1 horse kind of went inside the cones, but that was after the jump.
Yeah.
8 horse has taken its nose to the front as they come down and prepare for the second of the jumps. And boop, they all go. And the 7 horse wasn't too pleased with the 1 horse, the 8 horse taking its lead. 8 horse might get a really funky trip, though. I know in the thoroughbreds being 4 wide is not helpful. I can't imagine being 4 wide and jumping over fences is helpful.
Yeah.
The 7 horse has decided to exert a little bit of pressure on the rest of the field by moving forward. The 8 horse keeping them to task. Again, it looks to me like the 3 horse's jockey is really just kind of really being patient. I think that one's going to be full of run at the end. The 1 horse looks like it's a handful for the jockey because he's having a difficult time keeping that one on the track. That one's running all over the place. The 8 horse has moved along 7 again. The 3 horse does look to me like it's running the easiest of the bunch. I don't know what that means. The one horse is moving up into contention here. Again, the jockey's really having a handful with that horse. It just wants to go, Terry. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And there's not that big of a gap from the nose of the 7 to the tail of the 4, probably 7 lengths covering the entire field. Are they going to run around again, or are they almost done? Do you know?
They may be almost done, I think. Yeah, I think they're almost done.
I don't know. It doesn't look to me like they're really quickening, though. I think if they were coming home, I think they're going to go around one more time.
You could be right about that.
Yeah. I mean, the jockey on the one horse is standing straight up and down. That horse wants to go. I don't even know where they are on the track, to be honest with you. If they're in the front, the back. Okay, they're going across the finish line for the first time. So they're going to do one more lap around the track, and then we'll have a winner, Terry.
Sounds good.
So the 7 and the 8, they continue to be in the positions of pilot and co-pilot. The 8 has kept the 7 honest to whatever degree they've run an honest pace in this race. The 1 and the 3, again, the jockey on the 1 is still standing the most upright out of any jockey in the field. It does look like the 4 horse in the back is being asked to go. That might be one that have to do a lot of recouping to get there, but you never know in these races.
No.
The 8 horse has moved in front or alongside of the 7, and those two hit the jump together. Oh, the 6 horse jockey did everything in the world he could to hang in there. The 1 and the 3, they're in the stalking positions as they come down the backside. That 1 horse really wants to go. The 8 horse is taking charge in here, Terry. He's pulled ahead of the 7 pretty considerably. I don't know if that means anything. The 1 and the 3, the 1 has had to move to the outside of the 7 as the 8 horse is darted out to the lead. The 1 horse, the one that was a handful for the entirety of the race, he's trying to give chase. The 3 horse, that one's coming, but this one really looks like it's the 8 horse's race to win. Unless that 1 horse has a little bit of energy, but it looks like he is making up a lot of ground on that 8 horse. Looks like that 1 horse is going to run by that 8. Maybe not, though. The 8 is really digging in. The 1 horse still a handful to deal with, even though the race is coming to a close right here. Down the stretch they come. The 1 horse he's just weaving all over the track, Terry. Looks like he's dead tired. It's going to go 8. It's probably not a good word to use. 8-1. I think 2-4. Is that right? 8-1, 2-4. Did recoup some ground at the end. 8-1. Looks like I am an expert. Steeplechase handicapper there, Terry, with the exacta. He's winning. The 8 horse won. All right, fantastic. I can't hear you, Terry. Did you mute yourself? You're on mute. I don't know why you're on mute, but you are unmute.
Okay, there we go. My 7 really got tired and backed up, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that 8 horse kept them pressuring them all the way around the track, so I figured they both tired. I feel like the 1 horse probably was the best horse in that race, but the jockey really had to fight that one the entire way.
Yeah.
So what were the odds on that stuff? Who knows? I don't really.
On which one?
8 horse went off at 3-1. The 1 horse went off at 5-1, and the 2 horse at a trifecta in the picks there. Should have put the 4 in there. It was the only Great Britain horse. I mean, you should think about it. These jumpers, you should bet on the British horses.
That's true.
All right, race number 2 is what we're going to do next. This is where the thoroughbreds come in, and probably no more winners for me. It's just the pure luck of the jumpers, Terry. So what are we going to do in race 2?
Yeah, this is a mile race, and it's a allowance race, $110,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won $20,000 other than maiden claimant starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races.
And 1 mile on the main track does favor horses that stalk, although 31% go wire to wire. You got this goofy turn over here, so. This is, I think, a lot of cases does have some impact on the post positions. We see that in terms of the post position bias. There's a clear inside to outside bias. So the closer you are to the rail, the quicker you get to that turn, the more of an advantage that you have. We do 10,000 simulations. We want to know which horse has the best chance to get to the lead. 10,000 simulations based upon our projected early pace. Which horses are going to get a race that matches or mirrors their best performances or puts them in their comfort zone. Looking for a score of 50 or above. We also want to see if we can find value. Our simulation odds, we want them to be lower than post-time odds. And, of course, Par Plus, Terry, the last of our simulations, 10,000 times, 2,960 times reserve currency. The 6-horse ran a speed figure of at least 95. That is the Brisnet par speed figure for this level. Terry, if speed does matter, who has the most of it?
All right. Well, it looks like to me that one shows the most, followed up by the was that the 3, I guess. And then as far as the overlays, 1 has an overlay 3-1 to 6-1. 6 has an overlay from 2-1 to 3-1. 6, 1, 4, and 7 show Par Plus numbers, and all the horses show seasons, although the 4 is really low.
Yeah, and they're all below 50%. Pretty here, this foaming at the From Another Mother does have a pretty high Q30 score. Q30 is query points. We add them all up for the race, and then we divide each horse's query points by the total, and that tells you how many, what percentage they have in there. And 28%, you're looking for a number about 30, particularly for horses that can get to the front. Looks like the 2-horse From Another Mother might have to work a little bit to get to that lead. Along with all of our simulations and everything we do trip handicapping and pace handicapping as well. So we try to touch all the bases. E-horses are pilots. EPs can pilot or co-pilot. The Ps, they're co-pilots. PCs, they're versatile. They're kind of like the flight attendants. They can be anywhere on the plane. Closers, they sit and coach. NCs, they're the ones that are waiting in line to get a ticket. They're on standby. They haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Your first timers are going to fly for the first time today. The 2-horse is a lone speed type. Everybody else middle back. Get to the front. You got a good shot to win. That's what the bias says. General Banker, Seeking Unity, and From Another Mother, the inside 3. That's where all the speed is. Late speed belongs to the 1-horse. General Banker eliminates Sun Thunder. So you got a top total pace horse here with General Banker. That's 8 points clear of the next, Terry. As we mentioned before, approximately 70% of the time, the winner comes from the top 4 in terms of total pace. And yesterday, at the end of Parks, that 13 horse that paid $50, Terry, was the 4th horse in our top total pace. So, all right. What do you got for picks in the first thoroughbred race?
All right. Well, let me get here. And that number 6 reserve currency has won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. 4, Sun Thunder is my second choice. He took a 2-month break, but was knocking at the door before that, finishing in the money in the last 6 races. And he comes back with a bullet workout on August 15th. And then From Another Mother, the 2 is my third choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race. His early speed running style helps the chances. His best start speed is fast among these starters. Has a good workout on August 22nd. Number 7, Eliminate, ran second his last start and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey.
All right. For me, Mr. Terry, I'm going to start off with the 1-horse as my number 1 selection. That guy is General Banker. General Banker, as you saw when we did the trip handicapping, has the top early pace, top late pace, top total pace by 8 points. Usually 5 points is enough to be a serious contender. It's also what I call a left arrow horse, a closer with enough early speed to beat forward today, and has that strong rail edge. So a lot of arrows pointing to General Banker. In fact, it's my 20 to win, $10 to place horse today at a good price, hopefully. Number 6, Reserve Currency, ran the top last race, speed figure last time out. 4 points better than anybody else. Andrew Beyer says if it's 3 points better, you got to pay attention. That didn't really work too well at Parks yesterday. But the third race after a layoff for Reserve Currency should have looked a lot like the second one. Number 4, Sun Thunder, probably the most consistent at a high level in this field. Maybe that's the one I should have put to the top there, Terry. The 2 most recent workouts are really good. And the last one's crazy fast. 4 furlongs in 46.1 seconds. So look out for that guy. And then finally, From Another Mother, third start after a layoff, should be better than the second, which had better race internals from start to finish. Again, that's my $20 bet. I'm going to try to take a shot with that 1-horse there. Race number 2 is where we're going to 3, Terry, is where we're going to go next. This one's the babies.
It is. It's a mile. It's a maiden race, $90,000 purse for maidens. And see, I got a problem here. My computer screwed up. Okay, for maidens, it's 3-year-olds and upwards, polled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
Much like the second race, 1 mile, we'll find that early speed does all right, but stalkers, they, being middle forward, it's still, you got a 1 in 3 chance roughly to win on the wire. Again, there's an inside to outside post position bias with that funky turn over here. So keep that in mind, particularly if you find a horse that has a little bit of inside speed, Terry. And our simulations tell us where the speed can be found.
Okay, well, there's anybody's guess race here because 3, 5, 2, and 1 show lots of speed, and some others as well. And then the 1 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from about 5 to 2 to 7 to 2. And then the 5, 1, and 3 show par plus numbers, and 1, 5, 2, and 3 show C zones.
The only 50% C zone belonging to Big Rich. You can't pass on a horse with that name on there at all. None of them hitting 30 on the Q30 score, but of all the horses that got a chance to go to the front, the 2 that have the most early speed also grading out as the highest Q30 score. So maybe if you're looking for wire-to-wire types, the 3 or the 5 are your choices. Our trip handicapping, the 3 and the 5, they want to be forward. The 4, 7, and 8 want to close. The 1, 2 have not been within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. And the 6 horse today is its debut. When the race gets cooking, executive move, big ego, get a job. Well, a lot of these horses really tight. Looks like the only one that might not contend early on is ISO Marshall. And then as far as late speed is, are you all right?
No, I'm fine. Go ahead.
All right. As far as late speed is concerned, you have the 8 and the 5, along with the 2 is the most late speed. Our top total pace horse here, Terry, is Get a Job and Concord Spirit. The 5 and the 8 considerably better than the rest of the field. Who do you like?
Okay, I like in this race number 5, Get a Job. He ran second in his only start. His best start speed is fast among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Big Eagle, the 3, finished second in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 8, Concord Spirits, my third choice. He can improve at the longer distance and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And 7, Executive Move, my long shot. He finished third versus Simmer in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 pick 4. I'm going to use the 3, 5, 7, and 8 with the 4, with the 2, 8, 10, with the 7, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4 means we have 1 horse in one leg of the pick 4, 2 in another, 3 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, pick 4. I'm going to start off with Get a Job too. That's a good place to get started. Second up, Improvement it should be enough to perhaps win this race. My concern with that 5 horse, though, is he's a track riser from Indianapolis. Those track risers sometimes don't fare well against the tough NYRA crowds. Big Ego, the 3 horse. Good chance to be up on the lead there, up to speed figure 3 races in a row. According to Barry Meadows, that is an alpha angle that wins at least 15%. And he's the only horse in that race to come remotely close to hitting par for this level, at least so far. Number 6, I'm going to take a first-timer where none of the rest have sniffed the winning effort at this level. This one has a bullet and go workout, another Barry Meadows special, 15% type. That means the last workout, you'll see right here before heading to the track, was a bullet. It's also a 5 furlongs. And interesting to note, in the conversation I had with our good friend Chris Parmalu, he had mentioned the old-timers insisted on a 5 furlong workout being the last workout before a horse made its debut. It's a little bit of old-fashioned training right there. And then, of course, I can't pass on Big Rich. It's in the name. The last time I passed on a horse with Rich in its name, it was Rich Strike that won the Kentucky Derby at 80 to 1. I shall never make that mistake again. I'm going to do my no favorite pick 4. I can't have the morning line favorite in our picks. 1, 3, 6, 8. 1, 6, 8, 9, 2, 10, and the 1, 4, and 9. So we have a different approach to the pick 4 right there, Terry. You feel like you can single one out. I felt like I couldn't single any out in that series.
Okay.
Race 4, what's the story here?
Okay, it's 6 furlongs, claiming race, $32,000 claiming price, $65,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upward. And that's about it.
So at 6 furlongs, the way to get to the winner's circle is early speed. 31% go wire to wire. There's a rail bonus. And then 2 through 7 to get a penalty. So 8 and out. So be inside, be outside, but most importantly, be fast, Harry.
That's right. So what we got here is the outside, and I think, well, both outside horses have the speed here. You can see the 9 and the 1A. And so it's could go head to head. Most of them show some kind of speed, so you just don't know. And then the 10 shows an overlay from about 5 to 2 to 8 to 1. And then the 6, 10, 2, and 8 show par plus numbers. All but the 8 shows C zones.
Yeah, just only 2 getting a 50% score. All of the speed from the Quarian points on the outside, on the inside. So meeting the track bias. Maybe look at those horses. Our trip handicapping gives us a very balanced look in this race. The one horse in here that kind of stands out a little bit is that 9 horse, Poppy's Ride. It is the lone EP. These EPs and PC types in thick fields can have a little bit of a positional advantage. Poppy's Pride is the fastest horse in the field at the start, about a length quicker than everybody else. Cold as Hell should be to its outside. Kingdom, I mean, a lot of pace in here. So this one could get hot. Late speed belongs to Natural Harbor. Garuvan, Papa Rocket, MB's Money. Again, pretty tight in there too. So just from the numbers, everything shapes up to be a highly competitive race in here, Terry. If you're looking for that top total pace, right there are your top 4, although that 1A is borderline. You got only 5 points separating all of these horses. This looks like an anything goes race, Terry. And how do you think it will go?
Well, I like the number 8, Natural Harbor. He finished in the money in 3 of his last 4 starts, winning 2 of those races, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like number 1, Cold as Hell. He won his last race at Saratoga and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 9, Poppy's Pride, my third choice, finished 3rd in his last race. His early speed running style will help his chance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like Garuvan. Yeah, the 6 is my long shot. He likes Parks racing. He's been in the money 100% of the time here and won 33% of those races. And at today's distance, he's been in the money 60% of the time and won 49% of those races.
That's some big numbers there for Garuvan. Isn't there a song like that, Garuvan, on a Saturday morning? So I know there is. Right. I don't remember it.
It's from about the 80s, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably why I remember it. Poppy's Pride, the 9 horse. Well, I think that one in a field where a third of the horses go wire to wire probably has your best shot to do wire to wire activity today. And last time out, did improve its late speed. So if it can continue running fast and maybe add a little bit more at the end, there's your W2W winner potentially. Natural Harbor, I think this horse can make a major move forward in round 2 off the sidelines. At least that's what the resume says. Garuvan, a song I know exists, but just don't know from when. This one is a horse perhaps for the New York Saratoga course, 3 times out, a win in a couple of seconds. The win was at about this level. The couple of seconds was a couple of notches above. And then I'm going to go with the 1-1A combo, 2-for-1 special with the entry, getting the very slight nod over the simulated favorite, Kingdom, the 10 horse. I may come to regret that decision, Terry. But I do like the 2-to-1 types.
Okay.
The 5th horse, 5th race in a 9-race card, Terry, a couple of these today.
Yeah, this race here is a mile and a 16th inner turf. It's a maiden claiming race, $40,000, $50,000 purse. Inner turf for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward, pulled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry. And
a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. The closers have done exceptionally well, 14%. So still about a fair number that get the lead, can keep it to the winner's circle. A bit of a rail bonus for Jan Sien. The rest of the post positions are a touch under par, but nothing really making a deal breaker or deal maker. So tactical speed may be useful, Terry, but really closers is where it's at. But if you do think you got a 14% chance to go wire to wire, where would that be?
Okay, it'd be the 1 or the 3, and then followed up by that 6. But the 1 and 3 could go head to head. The 1 has an overlay from about 8 to 5, 12 to 1, and the 3 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 15 to 1. And then 1, 3, and 9 show par plus numbers. Lots of them show C zones 8, 6, 7, 10, 9, and 1.
Again, a very low C zone scores in here. That one horse over here, Jansen, in neither one of our picks, he has a good shot to be on the lead. Pretty high query score compared to everybody else. The highest par plus, the biggest overlay. It's maybe something that we're missing, Terry. It's also a lone E out here. Well, closers do pretty well. Everybody else, middle back. A couple of first-time starters. A couple that really have to improve a lot in here today. The early speed belongs to Caesar's Ghost and Jansen. Then out of Waterbury. Late speed, where this race was likely won because closers do great. Look at Jansen up there again. That one horse, look out. Not in our picks. Out of Waterbury, along with Koru, they'll be coming at the end. Our top total pace horse is the one horse. All right. That's 5 points clear of Out of Waterbury, which is 8 points clear of Koru. The 1 and the 6, they rank out high. And guess what? They're not in our picks anywhere.
I know. Yeah, that's something else. So anyway, I like in this race, I like that 8 English Castle. Finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the maiden claiming races he has a horse competing in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Carew, the 10 is my second choice. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and a good workout on August 21st. The 2 checked cleared is a first-time starter whose breeding suggests that he will like the grass, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then 9 is my long shot, my life story. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and his best dirt speed is close to the average winning speed.
I like the 2 horse that first time starter. I'm going to take a little bit of a chance on that one. I have a 3-point scale. That one scores 3 out of 3. Great breeding, great training, great works. So we'll see what happens. It has a back bullet workout too, something I like to see in horses. And that's when the horse has one of these really fast workouts. I'm convinced George Weaver wants to see what type of horse he has. That's the workout that tells him. And into this race he comes. Number 10, Koru is my second choice in there. Chad Brown, third up off a layoff for the first time in its career. It made a start, stop, made a start, stop, came back. It's the first time it's made it a couple of races in a row. A finely healthy horse with 3 workouts between races. I think you're going to see the best of Koru for Chad Brown today. English Castle, the 8 horse, is the third call for me. This one was third at this level last time out, and that was the first time the horse had dropped from the maiden special weight ranks. So maybe the second time in the claiming company is the answer. And then finally, I'm going to take a flyer. It was a tough call for the flyer pick for me between the 1 and the 3. But I went with the 3, Caesar's Ghost. Last run that this horse had on the inner turf. He's only run on turf twice. Both were inner turf. But the last one would have been good enough to win this one. That was at 1.5 miles. So cutting back in distance today could be the deal maker. Race 6 begins the late pick for Terry. And what are they running for?
All right. Well, it's going to shorten up to a 5.5 furlongs. It's, on the turf. It's a maiden race, purse 80,000 for maidens and fillies, 2-year-olds.
5.5 furlong sprint on the grass. You can imagine that it does favor horses that are fast. It does. 1 out of 4 wins wire to wire, but being a pilot or a co-pilot, a co-pilot might be better than being a pilot in this case. Post positions, despite the early turn, are very fair. There are a lot of first-time starters, second-time starters, third-time starters. So the data in race number 6 might be a little bit light. But From what we have, what does it say?
Well, there's a lot of horses that show some speed in here, the 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. So it's one of those who knows races. And then the 5 has an overlay from about almost 3 to 1, 6 to 1. The 9's got an overlay from 3.5 to 1 to 5 to 1. All but the 3 show par plus numbers. And 6, 8, 5, 3, 7, and 9 shows C zones.
Yes, and a couple of them high here. The 6 and the 8 pretty high. Got a pretty good Q score here too for Miss Banker, but might not be on the lead, so maybe not as useful. Same thing for Linda's Jewel. But these babies pace makes the race, as they say. And looking at this, everybody wants to be middle back or it hasn't competed. So maybe the 5 or the 7, if it can get to the good jump, could get to the finish line first. Does look like the 7 is the quicker of the two, though. Episode way down there, maybe false speed at the beginning. These 4, you don't know what they're going to do. The late speed belongs to Miss C. Banker, that's 7 horse, along with Linda's Jewel. So the 2 front runners also have the most late speed, notwithstanding the first timers. And then you have Miss Banker, Linda's Jewel, well above the rest of the pack in terms of what the experienced horses show from a total pace standpoint, Terry. So maybe those 2 and a couple first-time starters. What say you?
All right. In this race here, I like Miss C. Banker, the 7. She ran second in her only start. She has a high percentage winning, highest last race speed. I'm sorry. And she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then Linda's Jewel, the 9, is finished third versus similar in her only start. Her dam has 1 winner from 2 starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. She has a good workout on August 19th. Number 5, Episode. She ran second versus similar on the dirt in her last race. Her dam has 6 winners from 7 starters, but 2 turf winners, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. She's in a good mood. The 2 is my long shot, first-time starter whose breeding suggests she will like the grass, and her breeding suits today's sprint distance. She has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play the no favorite pick 4. I'm going to use the 2-5-9 with the 2-4-6 with the 1-4-8-9 and finish up with a 4-5-10-12. That's a $48 ticket.
Yeah, I think if these in either series, if none of the favorites win, the payouts could be pretty nice. I'm going to single up the 9 in my 1-2-3 pick 4, put it at the top of my ticket. They wanted to debut this one on turf. It got moved to the slop. It gets grass today, and second race improvement for a horse that was decently bet in its debut would be enough to win here. Miss C. Banker, second by a neck at this level last time out. A lot of times those horses, as Chris Parmalu says, just need to beat 1. Graceful Warrior, the 1 horse. I'm going to take a couple of first-time starters at this point, the 1 and the 4. The 1 horse having slightly better workouts, the 4 horse having substantially better breeding. So my 1, 2, 3, 4 pick 4, I'm going to go 1, 2, 4, 3, 9, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 6, 12. Should also note that I think the contests for horse tourney starts here. So here's Terry's picks, how you play the contest. Here are my picks if you're going to play the pick and pray type contests. Take a look at that. I think race number 2 is about to get started, right?
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes to post. All right. I think we could probably make it through race number 7 real fast. Terry, that looks like your best bet. So let's go about that business.
All right. So race number 7 is 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming, $45,000 claiming price, the $100,000 purse for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, pulled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry, which have not won $20,000 twice other than claiming, maiden, claiming, or starter, which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming price of $45,000.
And Chris D'Souza liking a 6 horse in the 6th race, along with the 5 and the 9 for an exact and trifecta box. If, like Christopher, you have some ideas, let us know. We appreciate them. If you like Tayfum and you want to make threats, go about that business too. In race number 7, Terry, at 6.5 furlongs, profile of a winner, early speed. This one probably speeds the most dominating, 41%, wire to wire. Outside is better than inside. In fact, the rail stinks. So beware if you like that rail horse, Terry. In race number 7, where do we find the giddy up and go?
Well, there's a lot of speed with the 4 and the 7, but a lot of others have some speed too. So you just never really know who's going to get there first. But the 4 has an overlay from 2-1 to 7-2. The 5 has an overlay from about even money to 3-1. 4, 5, 8, 10, and 6 have par plus, and they all show C zones.
Yeah, very strong par plus, very high C zone for the 5 and the simulation favorite at 3-1. I hope he stays there for you, Terry, on your best bet of the day. In the 7th race, look at that, just everybody's bunched up in there. Very, very, really no competitive edge for anybody in there in terms of where they'll be positioned on the track. The beginning, Athena Beach is the fastest horse over Cousin Christie. Much like our simulation says, very tight-knit. A lot of horses can get to the front there. Don't get stuck wide. Don't get stuck in the gate. At the end, Athena Beach also has the most late speed, so look out for that. Top total speed, top late speed. You might not be able to pass what you can't catch. Cousin Christie and Athena Beach grading out well above everybody else as your top pace horses, Terry. Therefore, you're going to make that one your best bet of the day.
I am the 5, Athena Beach, and she ran in her last race second. It has the highest last speed rating, and her early speed running style will help her chances. Number 2, Scoring Chance, my second choice, won her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Cousin Christie, the 4, she drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. True Impress, the 6, my long shot, won her last race at Finger Lakes, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And I'm going to bet 30 to win on number 5. My
no place bets today. Is this a 5-star play from you because there's no place side in there, huh?
No, because I think it's going to be a short price. So,
all right. Well, hopefully not. It's 3-1 morning line, so let's hope it stays up in that range. I'm going to go with Cousin Christie, the 4-horse, as my top selection in here. Cousin Christie coming down from a non-graded stakes race where she ran wide all the way around the track, 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. So I think you can dismiss that race. The race before that would be very competitive for the W here. Athena Beach, this one should be better in the second start after a layoff. In the money, 8 of 9 races. In my math, that's pretty good. Getting the lead is the key for this horse. If it gets the lead, it could be very difficult to beat. If it doesn't get the lead, it could become discouraged. The 2-horse, Scoring Chance. That's the third choice for me. That one is perhaps the one with the most upside in the race, making its 4th or 5th start. The only time this horse ran at the distance, it won. So 6.5 furlong fits. And then finally, Bank on Anna was a tough call for me over the 6. But this one's a long shot that will be closing. And there's a lot of speed in this race that we saw for that one to run down at the end. So maybe fattens up the exactas and the trifectas. Race number 2 about to get started. That's going to be my 2010 play of the day. Hopefully that one horse shows up, but right now it looks like it's going to have to beat Terry's 3-2. Reserve Currency, my second choice. Don't beat me on that one. The 4-horse. So looking at the odds right here, it looks like the 1-horse is the play just from a value standpoint because we have 3-1 odds and it's 9-2. The 2-horse, that's another one. We have basically 5-1 at 6-1, and they're off and running, so really no chance to make any of those changes. Kind of a weird start there. The 2-horse from Another Mother is the one that's on the lead. Wasn't projected out there. We had the 3-horse Seeking Unity right there. The 6-horse Reserve Currency. Again, another race where everybody's kind of tucked in, kind of tight together in there. As they come down around the corner there. They ran an opening quarter in 25.4 seconds, so not the fastest of quarters at all. 2-horse continues to set the tone with the 3-horse Seeking Unity right to the outside. Whole bunch of horses up in there. Really, at this point in time, anybody can win this race, it looks like, Terry.
Yeah.
It looks pretty competitive right now. So they come around the turn as they head for home. It does look like the 2 front runners continue to hold the pace. They're starting to move a little bit away. My 1-horse is trying to make a move up the rail. I don't know that he's going to have enough ground to close on these. These other horses are going to have to You're going to have to get out of its way, Terry, for that one to have a chance to win at 5-1. The rest of the horses kind of tailing off a little bit, although that 4-horse that was in the back of the pack, he's trying to make a move. My 1-horse is trying to get wide to run around the 2 front runners. Can he get the job done? I don't know, Terry. It looks like he's going to give it everything he's got. It's going to matter, can he get by the 3-horse at the end? The 3-horse is looking like it's starting to tire a little bit, but not enough perhaps for the 1 to catch him. Come on, 1, get some legs and get up there. The 6 is trying to make a move to the inside. It looks like it's going to go, 3-1-6. Neither one of us was Seeking Unity, which was the longest shot on the board.
Oh, boy.
Well, I got $10 to place. I should have probably did it your way because I know you've said you like to go 10 to win, 20 to place, because if you bet the 20 to place and the horse does finish second, you end up at least getting your money back or maybe turning a little bit of a profit.
Correct.
Well, lost a little bit by a nose there. All right, Terry. So hopefully your best bet gets that nose. We have 2 races to go, starting with the late daily double. That'll be race number 8.
All right. 8 is a 1 and a 16th mile on the inner turf, and it's a $150,000 purse. and it's for fillies 2-year-olds.
Yeah, it's the PG Johnson Stakes there, Terry. A lot of these horses making their second start. I feel like 2-year-olds stakes racing, boy, anything can happen. A mile and a 16th on that inner turf again. Closers do great. 14% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a real bonus. The rest of them are a touch under par. A lot of these horses, I said, very limited careers. Anything can happen in here, Terry. I don't think the biases matter. Maybe the stats matter, but who's going to get the lead?
Well, it looks like to me the 4 shows the most speed if you take a look at the data there. And along with then followed up by the 5. And the 1 has an overlay from 2.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from about 7 to 2 to 9 to 2. And the 5 has an overlay from 6 to 1 to 20 to 1. And then all but the 8 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yeah, it's just from the data, it's just basically roll of a dice. That go ahead and bet the all button. Is that what you would do ordinarily, Terry, in a race like this?
Yes.
Our race shape, look at 10 and 5. They maybe want to be closed. Everybody else wants to close. Well, closing is the way to win. So they'll all be coming like a truck downhill at the end of the race. Lady Orient, second chance, a little bit quicker than everybody else. We do see with the 2-horse, Virgin Colada, the closer, that one has exceptional late speed, 2 lengths better than Marion Bright, who could be way, way, way back at the end of the race. Our top total pace horse here is Virgin Colada, a little bit over Lady Orient, but again, very competitive all the way down here. Maybe the 10 and the 8 don't fit, but even them, only 2-year-olds, you don't know what they're going to do today. So what do you think they will do today, Terry?
All right. Well, I think that 2 Virgin Colada will win. She won her debut race at Saratoga on the turf, and at today's distance, her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She actually tied with another, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Raining Flowers, the 9th second choice. She won her last race at Saratoga on the turf at today's distance.
Is the 9 in the race, Terry? Let's look and see. I don't know that the 9 is in this race.
Did they scratch the 9?
No, the 9 is in the race. Raining Flowers. I don't know why it's not in here, but I must have accidentally. So the 9 is in there, folks.
Okay. Well, she won her last race.
It's the 10 that's not in there. My fault.
Right. Okay. She won her last race on the turf at today's distance, and her best turf speed is tied with the 2-horse, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 4 Lady Orient won her debut race, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. She Artiz closed to win her debut race on the turf at 6 furlongs, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and wins 100% of the races with 2-year-old entries. And then that's about it for me in that race.
So essentially, I feel like any of the top 4 youngsters can win with second race improvement. So that's how I ranked them. I went 2, 5, 4, 1. Maybe you have to reconsider the 9 because I thought it was scratched out. Let me take a look and see if indeed, did I scratch out the 9? No, I don't know. I just accidentally scratched the wrong horse out on the when I put the data in. So I'm going to go 2, 5, 4, and 1 for me. Again, anything goes in this race. So I just went straight up rankings. All right, the last race of the day today at Saratoga is race number 9. Tomorrow, we will be back for Saratoga again. And then on Friday, Thomas and I with a little bit of a foreign Friday treat without leaving the United States, as we will go to Kentucky Downs. I think next Sunday, I'll be at Kentucky Downs with Tom, too, at the track. So if you'll be there, make sure you stop by and say hello. We certainly would like to, to meet people face-to-face versus virtually over line. All right, Terry, the last race of the day for you and me today at Saratoga is about what?
It's 5.5 furlongs on the turf again. Maiden claiming race, $40,000 claiming price, $50,000 purse for maidens, fillies, and mares 3-year-olds and upward, pulled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
And that 5.5 furlongs be in the front half, and you have a good chance to win. In fact, 1 out of 4 run straight to the winner's circle on the lead. There's really no advantage to any post position. So anywhere on the track goes. You figure on these 5.5 furlong sprints on the grass, you better be fast, Terry. It looks like one of them is a little bit faster than the rest.
Yeah, the 10 shows the most speed in here, as you can see, and it's pretty good. And then the 12 has an overlay from almost 6 to 1 to 10 to 1, and the 13 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 10 to 1. All but the 1, 3, 6, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all but the 3, 9, and 13 have C zones.
Maybe this 10 horse one to reckon with, Majulu, as it has a very strong chance to get the lead. Borderline 30 Q score. I mean, you got these two here and this one there. So really 3 speed horses in this race. Of them, the 10 horse is the dominant speed. Is it also the dominant speed in our trip and handicapping? Loney, everybody wants them, particularly in short races. The 3, 8, and 12 so far not so good. The 11 going to go for the first time today. Bunch of other closers in mid-pack types in here. Speed does win at the distance. It does look like Malaju is about Majulu, about a length quicker than everybody else. Not a whole lot of speed up on the rail there, so it might be able to clear. And again, post position is really not a factor. Looking at the late speed, really no big standouts there either. So early speed should have its chance to close out the race today. The 10 and the 4, much better than everybody else from a total pace standpoint, Terry. And the 10 is at the top of your ticket.
Yeah, I like Majulu. She ran second in her last race at Saratoga, and it was on the turf, and it's today's distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 6, my second choice, is drops in class, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 4, Splashy, she drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Good Mission is my long shot. She ran second in her last race at Saratoga, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. And blinkers are added today. So that's it for me.
The 6 horse, Laruna, that one I'll put on the top of my picks today. Is a maiden special weight dropper. Maybe the most upside. So far, only raced 3 times. Number 4, Splashy, 4 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. It's one of the other 2 maiden special weight droppers. Good Mission, the 12 horse, that one flashed speed in its debut. It was well bet. And that was at 6.5 furlongs. The move down to 5.5 furlongs helps that speed last longer and that second race improvement. And then Majulu, strong chance to be the pace setter, second at this level, just by a head last time out. And again, our good friend Chris Permalu says, hey, that's his favorite angle. Maiden special weight types or maiden claiming types that finish second in their last race. They only have 1 horse to beat this time around.
Yep.
In the race 9, Christopher D'Souza says, forget all of that. Play the 5 horse. Better be smart. And that's probably a good idea. Better be smart when Christopher picks some horses that we don't have. Here are our full picks for today. Again, tomorrow we'll be back at Saratoga. Friday, the ever adventurous, chaotic, and crazy Kentucky Downs. Today, a little less crazy over at Belterra Park. Free track in the description down below over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Kindly use that. Just a few minutes, Terry will post all of our racing thoughts, comments, and a replay at horseracingtoday.net. And you get yourself ready for the upcoming fall weather. 6 days left to get 20% off and help us at horseracingtoday.net. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before you and I part ways today?
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one, if you like what you see here, which I know you're going to, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the little bell so you get notified, copy the link below to share with your friends, neighbors, and relatives so that they can come and check us out too. And then go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us likes and thumbs up, and also give us picks in our comments here and comments, which helps us out quite a bit.
Suggestions too.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you're going to play Kentucky Downs tomorrow, which is opening day, good luck to you.
And sometimes even that's not enough.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, if you're preparing for Kentucky Downs tomorrow, again, treat people like you want to be treated. That's the best way to go about your day. And no matter what you're going about today, chasing your goals, just chasing some Z's, chasing a little bit of work that you have to catch up on. We certainly hope it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do today until we get together again ends up in our most favorite of places,
the winner's circle.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for Terrific Terry Thursday.